Today, I want to talk to you about survival strategies. Now, this has nothing to do with the civil war that lots of people are saying are going to happen soon, or the economic crash, which, well, seems inevitable actually, unless we take action to do something about it. No, it's not about any of those things whatsoever. It is about something you've been doing the whole of your life, right up until now. And what this is the way in which you, as a small child, decided to cope with your birth and living circumstances. And it's something which everybody does. It's a decision which you make as a small child, which then gives you the basic impetus for the whole of your life direction. So maybe the boss of a big cartel has a survival strategy. I have got to dominate everyone. It would be something which would pass, would fit. Maybe much more common. I've got to be nice and, shall I say, well behaved to everyone. I've got to please everyone. That's much more common, isn't it? It's like saying, well, I can't do what I want to do. I've got to do what everybody else expects me to do, or what I believe everybody expects me to do, so that they won't kill me. Basically what this is all about. There are lots and lots and lots of different ways of making this judgment. And the most important thing is to ask why. Now, it's just possible that there are some people who are watching this video will say, hey, wait a minute, there is no such thing as reincarnation. Well, I'm afraid that it's only a small section of humanity for a very short time in humanity's history have believed in this aberration that the physical body is the sole example of life. It ain't, and it ain't difficult to remember previous incarnations either, your previous incarnations. And this doesn't mean that, you used to be Napoleon. Somebody used to, I don't know who, but somebody did. But much more likely is that, you were an ordinary, shall we say, member of the public, as it were, experiencing your life in the way in which you chose to have it. Just like right now. You are the one who designed this life. You are the one who decided before you were born what you were going to attempt to achieve in this life. You are the one who decided what experiences you were going to give yourself so that you could win more knowledge about yourself, about your own abilities, about your own competence. And the way in which you chose to be born, the circumstances in which you chose to be born. And if you look at 2 minutes at medical science, and medicine is not science-based. Just have a quick word with Professor Bruce Lipton about that, he'll tell you. That says, well, fertilization is a random event. Well, if you talk to any quantum physicist, and especially a quantum biophysicist, she will tell you that there is no such thing as a random event. To believe in random events is the belief that the basic structure of this universe is chaos. And it isn't. If the basic structure was chaos, I wouldn't be here talking to you with a physical body and a video camera, because the basic premise was chaos. None of that could exist. All that could exist would be just entropic random events with a very, very short duration. You chose the sperm which fertilized the egg which you chose. That's a fact. I'm not going to try and prove it in this video. The proof is available, but it would take some considerable time of study to work up to it to see and to understand the proof. But let us take that as a basic premise because it's essential to everything else that follows. You decided which sperm, which egg, so that you could create the body that you wanted, just the way I did. This is the body which I have chosen to create. So, where does this take us? That means that you chose your parents, you chose the circumstances of your birth. You did this in agreement with the souls incarnating as your parents, and your siblings, and your aunts and uncles and what have you, and everybody else around you. This means that you are in control of your life, have been right from day one. Whatever you've experienced, you decided. Even Jesus has said this in the new, what's the word? What's the English word? The new expose, the new presentation of his teachings in the book A Course in Miracles. The first steps upon the road to heaven is the recognition that everything that you experience, everything that you have experienced, and everything that you will experience, you and you alone commanded. That is your power. The power to create anything and everything you want. No matter what, you can experience it if you just choose. Now, in order to come here, to create, to go through these experiences, of course, we restrict our consciousness to a small percentage of what is actually available. And then when we leave these bodies, we go back to the state of full consciousness. So, in order then to go through the experiences that we've chosen to have, you have structured your early childhood to push you in a particular direction. And this decision about your survival strategy is the direction that you've chosen. And this will get you to where you want to be. This will get you the experiences that you wanted to have. This will give you the opportunity to gain the recognition, the information about yourself which you wanted to glean. However, once you've got there where you wanted to be, in order to go further, you have got to release this survival strategy, because its only purpose was to get you into a particular state, into a particular frame of mind, into particular circumstances. Once you've got there, it functions no longer as an impetus, but as a brake. And removing it has therefore got to be your next step once you got to where you want to be. Now, most of us have been where we wanted to be for many decades and are still fighting with this survival strategy. And what you will find is that two people who have conflicting survival strategies, two people who have a survival strategy, I must be the boss, I must take command of everything in order to survive. You put them in the same room, and the only possible outcome is a pitched battle, because only one of them can survive. And neither of them get what they really want. Now, what is your survival strategy? What is the basic decision which you made as a child about your life which has got you to where you are now? I don't know. I can't see you from here. You've got to look at yourself and see in yourself what basic belief about myself and about my life has got me here. No matter what it is. You might just call it negative, you might call it positive. These are meaningless judgments. All it is the basic direction which you gave to your life. Once you've got there, then it's time to look at this basic program and to release it, so that you can then go from having achieved the desired status, go on to achieving more things. For example, my survival strategy, thanks to my mother primarily, is I have got to solve everyone's problems in order to be acceptable to her, in order to be recognised, approved by her. These are subsidiaries. The basic decision is I have got to solve everyone's problems. So what has this brought me? It's brought me into a state where, well, that's what I do. That has been my living for more than 4 decades, solving other people's problems, but never ever getting what I really wanted. What I really wanted was my mother's approval, but you don't look at that. And of course it never came, because it's not something that she was capable of doing. So all the time I'm fighting, attempting to force my mother to approve of my actions. Something she never did, and almost certainly never will do. At least not in this incarnation. And it's that sort of thing we're looking for. Your survival strategy exists as a way of getting something else, something that is missing, or pushing something away, something that you don't want. Whichever way you look at your survival strategy, you are both victim and what's the English word for tater? The one doing it, and you're doing it to yourself. Now do you grasp the importance of looking for, of recognizing your survival strategies, why you created this survival strategy, and then recognizing that you no longer need it and letting it go. I had the great good fortune of meeting a few very good teachers along the way who helped me to recognize and to release my survival strategy, which meant that I stopped serving women and became capable of entering into a true partnership with a woman. See the big difference that makes to me? The one way is the way that leads to total exhaustion, and the other way is a new beginning, almost a rebirth, in a very literal sense. Because once you stop surviving, you can start living. Just something to think about. Thank you.